In a surreal scene, several media outlets, local and international, raided the apartment of the couple responsible for the San Bernardino mass murder this week. And it was incredible to see how not only they swarmed into the apartment, Margaret, they did live streams, both in broadcast and on the internet, about very personal documents and information, which raises several questions. First of all, why did they have access to a scene that for many was still under investigation by the FBI? And then, why did the FBI left behind driver license, social security cards, and other documentation that was probably very important for this investigation?
Well, investigators, when they originally raided that home, they found ammunition, crushed electronics, things to make bombs with. And we need to point out that they didn't do anything illegal, these reporters, because the owner of the home actually allowed them to have access. So whomever owns that home, they said, yes, come on in, it's fine. We don't know the terms of the Farouks, their lease, if they even had one, if they were subleasing it, just staying there. But what we do know is the owner of that home let them in. That's the first thing. The second thing, it's fascinating, you're absolutely right, what investigators left behind. They left behind her driver's license, for example. They left behind, family items that might not have had any significance. We do know that they raided it, though, and they found some incredibly incriminating things that they did collect.
Correct. But what for me is also very important is that, in example, this image that we have is part of the images that were being broadcast live. And we added the squares to cover the identities. But they were these people that it was the mother of one of the murderers. Her information was broadcasted to the world. Do families of terrorists lose all their privacy and rights just because their family members committed these heinous crimes?
Look, we've seen the French do this for a while. They do this typically civilly when somebody commits a civil crime, like a drunk driving instance where they're killed. The family is fair game. We don't do this in the U.S., but it's interesting. Donald Trump actually said in a statement, this was this week, that family members of terrorists are fair game. So we're going to be seeing that narrative at play more and more in cases just like this as they unfold. But it is tragic in a way. This woman who had nothing to do with it, presumably her information is now out there.
Exactly. Among many other things, one of the questions that stays is some accounts say that they paid $1,000 to the owner of these apartments to let them in. The owner came on camera later saying, I didn't let this media come in. I opened the door and they just rushed in and I couldn't stop them. But what we know is as this was broadcast live, several other mediums and media outlets called the FBI. They say they were as surprised as them. But hours later, they realized that the investigation was over. The FBI Los Angeles Assistant Director David Bowditch came on a press conference, said at the time the investigation was over, and whatever happens in that place after the investigation is none of their business.